Farmers Day right here in Ghana, and just like one group of people, they are getting many commendations from various sections of our society. And members of parliament have lauded farmers in Ghana for their invaluable contribution to the growth of the economy. The commendations poured in after the Minister of Food and Agriculture, Dr. Owusu-Efiri Yakoto, congratulated Ghana's farmers. He urged Ghanaians to consume locally produced foods, as this ultimately would be the best reward for farmers for what they grow.
The theme for the celebration is, and I quote, enhancing small-scale agriculture towards agribusiness development, unquote. This aligns with the vision of transforming agriculture and the new emphasis on agribusiness. Indeed, farmers all over the country have embraced the Planting for Food and Jobs campaign, and they are reaping the rewards, Mr. Speaker. The bumper harvest last year bore ample testimony to this. This year, the signs are on the wall. Potentially, there will be massive rice, maize, and soya production together with other selected crops. And so we all need to brace ourselves for the coming harvest. Mr. Speaker, not only that, but more importantly, we must consume what we grow, since it is the best way to honor our farmers. Government, for its part, is doing the needful by investing massively in agriculture. This is attested to by the building of warehouses, importation of farm machinery, and for the first time, handheld equipment to reduce the drudgery experienced by smallholders.
Meanwhile, the 35th edition of the National Best Farmers Day celebration is on the theme Enhancing Small-Scale Agriculture Towards Agribusiness Development. Minority Leader Haruna Idrisu said it is unacceptable for Ghana to import over $450 million worth of rice within a year, adding government must show enough commitment to support farmers for Ghana to become self-sufficient in rice production.
The farmers are scrambling, just looking for an opportunity for a combined harvester to be able to harvest rice. I've heard, Minister, you've made a pronouncement on government determination to end importation of rice. It remains unacceptable to us collectively as a country that every year we spend $450 million on rice importation. Whilst we want to respect trade protocols with WTO, with ECOWAS and others, what is it that we are doing to increase domestic rice production? Even as you talk about the buffer stock and others, it's not enough. Mr. Speaker, I've had an experience where in a particular year, I do rice and granule farming sometimes. When we harvested the rice, it took me 1 year to be able to sell until Avanage came and picked and choose just a few, and the rest they were not interested in those particular species. So, Minister, yes, we will support you, but to reduce rice importation, we must be self-sufficient in this production as a country and ready to feed ourselves and change attitude to consume locally produced Ghanaian rice and respect international protocols in respect of it.
I'll give you all the latest update from how the main ceremony is expected to take place. In other news, teacher unions in Ghana, they have declared a nationwide strike effective Monday, December 9, 2019, over the failure of government to pay them legacy arrears of members dating back to 2012. According to the Ghana National Association of Teachers, the National Association of Graduate Teachers, and the Coalition of Concerned Teachers, government's lackadaisical attitude towards the issue smacks of disrespect to the country's teachers. NAT President Philippa Larson told journalists in Accra that members would not return to the classroom until they are paid.
We are not prepared to see our teachers suffer as a result of somebody's negligence. Choboy, hey. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, as we talk to you this moment, our plea has fallen on deaf ears, and the status quo remains. We can't continue to tolerate this. Indeed, for how long shall they ignore our members, the teachers, the purveyors of education, and expect us to continue to look on? We can't stand this anymore. Chobwe! 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 In light of this development, ladies and gentlemen of the media, we, the Ghana National Association of Teachers, National Association of Graduate Teachers, Coalition of Concerned Teachers Ghana, do hereby declare today a strike action by our members, effective Monday, 9th December 2019.
The police at Kwabenya are investigating allegations of sexual misconduct on the part of one of his officers said to have fondled the breast of a female passenger in a rented vehicle. The complainant, who would not want to be named or identified, says the police officer has stopped her vehicle during a routine traffic check on the Gimpa-Hacho stretch here in Accra on Wednesday afternoon, walked right to a window and groped her breast. Well, when she questioned why, she said the police officer told her he was checking for breast cancer. She has since been telling her story to my colleague, PSA Nanaya Osafo.
Wednesday, December 4, a commercial vehicle was forced to stop at the command of a patrol officer on duty on the Gimpa-Hacho stretch in Accra. According to one of the passengers, we choose to call Ifia, what began as a routine check quickly turned into something else.
I was sitting directly behind the driver. So when he got there, he just put his hand through the window and then squeezed my breast. So out of shock, I was like, police officer, why would you squeeze my breast? He said he was checking for breast cancer.
Jifa, her co-passenger, could not believe her eyes.
I was shocked and she was as well. So I was like, are you okay? Where is your warrant to do such? He made a statement. He was like,
he threatened to come to you?
Yes, and I told him, try it and you would see. And he was like, if I tried, what would you do to me? So it got me angry and we all got down from there. So it turned into a heated argument.
But all that was just the beginning of a very confusing situation.
He was like, we should get out of here, sit in the car and move. And I said, no, I'm not moving from here. I need an explanation from him. He said, I can go to the highest court. He will make the case a foolish case, that he is a police officer. He was smelling of alcohol, but not drunk like the one holding the rifle.
Two drunk police officers?
Yes, but the other one holding the rifle didn't harass us.
Another female passenger also alleged she was harassed that day.
When it came to us, he just went to the driver and was like, hey, we okay? And the driver was like, okay. He left the front to the back seat. We were two ladies there. Both of us used lens. So she took her lens and my colleague was like, mine is even better. She can't see at all without the glass. So her eyes was closed and he took mine as well. He was like, why are we both using the lens?
The young women, who are journalists, have reported the matter to the Ghana Police Service. District Commander Superintendent Combat Damonting of the Kwabenya District Police Headquarters says active investigations have begun, adding the matter will not be taken lightly.
We'll investigate to the latter and ensure that justice prevails. So I am assuring the complainant, fear to relax. She should have confidence in the Kwabenya Police Command that the complaint that she lodged will be investigated fairly and we put justice where it belongs.
Chief Executive Officer of Media 7, the press house in Accra, Dr. Kweku Baini, hopes justice will be served to deter other officers.
JoyNews, from the perspective that they are covering this content, I really support. We that serve the public should ensure that we operate under certain code of conduct. We are here to protect the public, but not to harass them, not to put them in a place where they will not feel that they are not part of this particular beautiful, blessed country. What the commander said, I endorse what he said, that justice will be put right. I'll take an opportunity to advise everyone that you should desist these kind of attitudes.
The officer in question is yet to give an official statement on the matter. PSC and I Safo's reports for JoyNews.
The Western region has won the maiden edition of the National Reading Festival. 2 students from the Tasak International School in the region, Samira Ibrahim and Kwabnose, beat competition from their counterpart from Greater Accra in the finals to emerge winners. The festival forms part of the Ghana Library Authority's objective in its year of reading to promote literacy and lifelong learning. There's more in the following report.
Pretty.
Well, yeah, that's correct. Ashanti Zone. Your word is begin. Begin. B-E-G-I-N.
Comment.
That's correct. Upper West Zone. Your word is big. B-I-G. Big. Similar word, big.
This is the first in a series of the National Reading Festival to be organized annually. The National Reading Festival saw 10 basic schools battling each other for the #1 spot. These schools were drawn from 10 regions of the country. The final stage saw the Greater Accra Zone and the Western Zone in a fierce competition. In the end, the Western Zone emerged winners.
All those out there, they should also read more so that they'll also be capable to come and sit here and have this opportunity I'm having.
Help me like out in reading commands and codes, in developing softwares.
Speaking at the event, Executive Director of the Ghana Library Authority, organizers of the program, Hayford Siao, said the competition is meant to encourage and motivate children and not to instill rivalry amongst them.
This is something that was being done some decades ago. But unfortunately, this was one of the things that we couldn't sustain for a very long time. And so as part of the year of reading, we decided to bring all the good things that our parents talk to us about, libraries and excitement surrounding their use of the libraries. And this is one of the activities that we've done across the circuit, the branch level library, the district, the regions. And then now, today, we had the national final.
According to him, the National Reading Festival will be held annually to encourage reading among Ghanaians, especially children.
Oh, we have to end the bulletin, but before we go, the Ochehene, Osajifo Amwetio for Repenning, has lifted an order placed by the Achim Ibuakwa Traditional Council directing all chiefs within the traditional area not to engage the leadership of the National Democratic Congress and their allies in any palace within his jurisdiction. He has also directed Ochimang to forgive and also forget a distasteful statement made against him by the NDC's Ashanti Regional Secretary Kwame Zu. The decision to forgive the NDC came after the national chairman of the party, Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo, led Kwame Zu and Ambassador Victor Smith, Betty Moldi Drisu, and other regional and constituency executives of the Ibuakwa South constituency to apologize to him. Its regional correspondent, Maxwell Kudako, was there for JoyNews.
The NDC delegation had an initial closed-door meeting with the Achim Ibuakwa Traditional Council, chaired by the Ochehema Nana Educhuma Dokuya, and later visited the Bonsamboso, where rituals are performed. Libation was poured and a sheep sacrificed to pacify the gods. But for the intervention of some chiefs and elders of the palace, some agitated youth and residents of Chebi would have attacked Kwame Zu while the pacification was ongoing. Leadership of the NDC went into a second meeting with the Traditional Council with the expectation to meet the Ochehene, but that did not happen because the Ochehene was engaged in another meeting. However, the Traditional Council proposed a fine of 98 sheep and 98 boxes of schnapp, which was later reduced to 48 sheep and 48 boxes of schnapp in the absence of the Ochehene. Barima Dako Ampem is Chebi Jasehene. The Traditional Council consulted Ochehene in camera over the decision taken. The Ochehene ordered them to forgive Kwame Azu and set him free. He annulled the fine and asked him to go and sin no more. Chairman Ofosu Ampofu spoke with the media after the meeting.
Gone through the Ochimai, Jantwahe, and then we managed to secure a day today, and then we have come and they have accepted our apology. The necessary rites have been performed to reverse whatever statements that were made on that day. And so today the Ochehene has indicated that it has no problem with the NDC. The NDC is also saying that we have no problem with Ochehene, and by extension Ochimai. Ochehene is celebrating his 20th anniversary of installment on the throne, and we believe that we need an atmosphere of peace and tranquility, goodwill, and prayer for him to succeed for the ensuing years ahead of him. So we have agreed, and as he has extended an invitation to us, I will convey it to the leader and flag bearer of the party for us to fully participate in the 20th anniversary celebration to cement the relationship between we as a party and Ochimai, because
Ochehene also advised Kwame Azu to show respect to elders and traditional authorities. Osadifo Amoitia hinted that he remains a father for all political parties, recounting the cordial relationship he had with all the presidents under the Fourth Republic. Barima Kofi Ejekene is Jantwahene of Achim Ebuakwa.
The NDC executives followed Kwame Azu because he's part of them, and they wouldn't allow him alone to come and face this. So it wasn't a matter with NDC as such. It was Kwame Azu, but NDC people followed him. For me as Jantwahene, that's what he told me, and that's what I believe. And Ochehene has also stated that, okay, he has forgiven Kwame Azu and to chief.
Kwame Azu was whisked away through the back door of the palace by armed policemen to avoid a mob attack by the aggressive youth who were waiting for him in front of the palace.
Well, that's it. The latest news headlines we have. We have a couple of newspapers who do that, look at some news portals, but also our own, myjoyonline.com. Do stay with us. We'll be right back.